Captain Marvel wasn't as bad as y'all made it seem. Let's talk about
Warning,
it.
the following video you are about to see comes from a geek and nerd who loves Marvel content and anime shows. Over here, we do not hold our tongue about anything and give you the most honest opinion about our chosen video topic. We do things that other content creators don't do. If you want someone like you to dissect said topic, subscribe and join other geeks in this space. While you are at it, leave a like on the video. Enjoy.
Now, this video is going to be quick, straight to the point, because to be honest, this is a quick, straight to the point movie. Now, this is what we have to realize, being Marvel fans and for the past decade, not every movie has to be some ultra level threat movie. The villains have to have so much character depth. The superheroes have to have so much story progression. Not every movie has to be like that. The common word people have used with this movie is fun. And sometimes it's okay for Marvel movies to make just fun movies. Think of it as how, y'all know, they just released Marvel Spotlight. Think of it as how this is maybe a version of Marvel Spotlight where it's kind of a one-off. Or Elseworld for DC, where it's kind of like, not a one-off, but like, it's not supposed to be taken too serious. And that was the theme of this movie. Now, I'm not saying that to say that it was great or good, actually. It just wasn't as bad as people were saying. People were making it seem like it was the worst Marvel movie since ever. You know, people were making it seem like, I don't know. It's just a lot of mixed reactions. So, these are my thoughts on it. The introduction, the characters of Maria, Miss Marvel, and Captain Marvel were lackluster. I feel like that was kind of, that was not intentional, but that was kind of going to happen because you have three main characters. They all have their own backstories and stories to tell. And then you mix them together. Then you add another character that we've never seen before. It's a lot for the director to deal with. Now, there's no excuse for how poor this movie was. We'll talk about the good stuff. Everybody has been saying Imani was the standout and the great person in this movie, in which she was. But I was getting a little annoyed with everything she was doing. I understand you're a Marvel fangirl, but dude, do you have to geek out and every single time someone says her name? Oh, she was in the room and oh, you're breathing the same air. It got so annoying. It got very, very annoying to me. The person I was most interested in was Captain Rambo. Just because she got her powers in a stupid way, in my opinion. Then they give us a little backstory on her mom and the relationship with Carol Danvers, which is Captain Marvel. We touch on it a little bit and then that's it. Nothing else. Her character seems the most interesting because she seems like she's very smart, very intelligent, has superpowers, has an auntie with superpowers. And it's like she was left in the dust. Everyone was saying Captain Marvel herself too was a little weird, which doesn't surprise me because she was weird in the first one. Now, I did like the first movie over this one, but it wasn't a leap. It was a little puddle step. It was, you know, a toe step further. This movie, it had problems and it had good things. The villain was bad. Villain was bad. The common thing I saw around people on YouTube watching the reviews was, what was the plot? What was the plot? And it's like, bro, y'all know dang well what the plot was. The plot was Dar-Benn was seeking revenge on Captain Marvel and using resources from the planets that Captain Marvel had made connections with to better Hala. That was the plot right there. Also, I forgot to add this, right? I forgot to add this in my original cut. The singing scene, terrible. Marvel, don't y'all ever in y'all life do that again. Y'all hear me? Ever do that again. I don't care how many BTS members you bring up in here. Don't you ever have these Marvel people singing like this. We don't need that no more. The Flirt Kittens don't need that either. Blah, blah. Every time we go somewhere, they throwing up. Oh, we gotta get all these people out, but the only way we can do it is if we let the Flirt Kittens eat everybody. Don't y'all ever do it, Marvel. Don't do it, because that wasn't y'all. That seemed like that was Disney. Forgot to add that. I'm out. You can't say what was the plot just because the plot wasn't good or the plot wasn't in depth. Because the only thing that would have made it better is if we actually got background of Captain Marvel really doing her deeds and maybe like a character study on Dar-Benn. But other than that, the plot wasn't that bad. Was the plot to Guardians Volume 2 amazing? No. But for whatever reason, you always have these things, oh, forgettable villain. if you think about it, most of Marvel's villains are forgettable. If you really think about it. Do y'all remember the Marvel villain from Iron Man 2? Didn't think so. Do y'all remember the Marvel villain for Iron Man 3? Didn't think so. Do y'all remember the villain for Thor 2? Didn't think so. It's like, and then we always get the, oh, it's a forgettable villain. But it's not a forgettable villain because you're always remembering him or her because of how bad they was. Just like Thor 2, just like Ronin. The same thing. So let's not act, this is what I hate with this community sometimes. Let's not act like every Marvel villain has been extraordinary. But they haven't. I mean, Mysterio wasn't even that great of a villain, to be honest. He was kind of shoehorned in. Oh, you had someone who was kind of working with Tony Stark's team and he got jealous and da-da-da. And now, I was like, okay. But you look at good villains, the Killmongers of the world. High Evolutionary, even though he's a good villain, but he wasn't the best villain ever, as some people were saying. You know, the Thanoses. Y'all gotta stop, man. Stop. I said in my last video, Marvel dug their own hole with this. They dug their own hole because they've been so good for so long and people just expect them to do everything great. And that's not the case. This movie was really more for kids than adults, to be honest with you. And that's the thing we're getting at right now. Marvel has gotten so big where there is no target demographic anymore because it's almost everybody. That's why they're doing the rated R stuff now. That's why they have movies like this. So not everybody's gonna like every movie. That's how it's always been. I don't know why y'all making it seem like Marvel has just never missed on a movie before. On to the post-credit scene and the mid-credit scene and the before mid-credit scene, I guess. The scene when Captain, it's too many Marvels, man. I'm sorry, I'm starting to blur. You got Captain Rambo, Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is recruiting, what's her name from Hawkeye? That was interesting, I guess. She kind of did it in the same way as Nick Fury. I'm gonna be honest. Marvel is having a hard time with me because I'm having a hard time caring about any of these characters. Just like I'm gonna talk about Loki. I'm posting 2 videos today. Same thing with Loki. I've never cared about Loki for real. Never. So now y'all expect me to, we'll get in that later. But it's like, okay, Kate Bishop. Oh, she recruited Kate Bishop first. No surprise there for obvious reasons. And it's like that was out of nowhere. Like she was at home and then, or at the space station, then out of nowhere she was recruited Kate Bishop. I feel like when Nick Fury was kind of doing it, it was for a greater purpose. You know, he was initiating the Avengers because he knew that other threats would probably be coming. He knew that they need heroes to make sure Earth is straight. With Kamala Khan doing it, it's like, what's the reason? Young Avengers, woo! But who cares? Who really cares? To be honest with you. Whatever, I guess. But anyway, now we have to get to the mid-credit scene. The mid-credit scene is the one everyone's talking about, everyone's gushing over. And once again, I'm not really putting no fire to the light. I mean, light to the fire. Whatever the saying is. Because y'all remember how everybody was at the end of Quantumania when we saw Victor Timely, and then y'all just saw Loki, and Victor Timely was that. I'm not really interested in the Beast, to be honest with you. Not that version. The heavy, overly CGI version of Beast. I don't really care that was Maria Rambeau. I don't care. Binary. I don't care. Like, this is the problem we're at. Marvel, you have to make us care for these characters. I care for Iron Man and Captain America and all of them. I don't care about Monica like that. You know? So the fact that she went through the portal and got trapped and was on the other side, it was like, dang. That's tough. Of course it's the black girl that's trapped on the other side. Of course, yay. Where is she at? Oh, with the X-Men. And who knows where they even introduced that. Can you look at the next lineup of movies and tell us where you think they could follow up on that story? Honestly, you couldn't. Everybody will say Deadpool, but Deadpool is gonna be, there's some rumors and spoilers about the plot of Deadpool, but it's not gonna hint on that. I'm not losing my faith with Marvel at all, but they need to get me back. They need to reel it in, because I don't know. But that's my Captain Marvel review, or Marvel's review. Love the video, like the video. If you don't love the video, dislike the video. I'm on the road to 200 subscribers. I appreciate everybody. Well, subscribe to me, watch the video, like the video, and all that. Share the video. And without further ado, I'm out. Peace.